So welcome to a very special Friday new product post. This week we've got new products, we've got a really cool demo, and we bought a Van de Graaff generator. So here we have a 5-volt solenoid. As some of you might know, a few months ago we started carrying a big 36-volt solenoid, but if you're using a 5-volt system, you might want something that you can use with this. This is a relatively small solenoid. It is a push type, and it has a nice JST connector on the end. And you don't have to use multiple voltages if you've already got a 5-volt system. You can't use this directly from an Arduino or a microcontroller. It's going to draw too much current, but you can still use this off your 5-volt system. So it's a nice little handy thing, and we actually have a nice demo for it set up. So let's go ahead and see what that demo is. So what you're listening to are the lovely and annoying sounds of the Pesto. The Pesto is the percussive electronic solenoid thrust organ. And basically what it is it's a bunch of these 5-volt solenoids hooked up with some micro racks, a ton of ribbon cable, a lot of glasses, and one epic breadboard connected to this very old Casio SK1 keyboard. And by pressing the notes on the keyboard, you can actually activate one of the solenoids, go for the high key. And you can activate one of the glasses and make it ring. So here is one example of what you can do with the solenoid. Let's take a quicker look. So at the heart of the system is the Casio SK1. We were thinking about taking the MIDI output and bringing it into a MIDI shield and doing all that, but it'd be really complicated and we probably wouldn't get the polyphony that we wanted out of it. So we decided to go really simple and actually just hack into the keyboard and just bring these ribbon cables out of it. Each one of these ribbon cables, or each one of these single individual wires, corresponds to one key on the keyboard. And we have a single common that goes into this lovely breadboard. This breadboard has MOSFETs on it, and one MOSFET per key. So we're using a benchtop power supply running at about 13 volts right now, just to get a little bit more ding out of each solenoid. And the MOSFETs, with that, drive the whole array. And that is how we did it. So many of you may be familiar with the Arduino Pro Minis that we've been selling for quite a long time now. Well, here is a new and exciting version of that. This is the Pro Micro. The Pro Micro is the exact same form factor as the Pro Mini, but it has a couple of interesting changes. This one actually has a USB micro jack on it, and it has that thanks in part to the Atmega 32U4 that's on it. So instead of using the Atmega 328 like the Pro Mini has, we've got the Atmega 32U4, and 32U4 has built-in USB stuff on it, so we don't need a separate FTDI chip or a separate FTDI header. So the nice thing about this board is that in the same size as the other board, you get everything, including the USB interface. So it's got the same pinout. You can still use your Arduino IDE with a little bit of modification. We have the instructions on the product page of how to modify that. And we've also got this in the 3-volt and the 5-volt versions, which is the 8 megahertz and the 16 megahertz. So check out both of these boards if you're looking to embed anything and need something really small. I don't always talk about retail products on the Friday New Product Post, but when I do, it's because they're interesting. This is the IR control kit. Now, this is a retail product, but this is the only way we sell these things in a kit is in this retail packaging. So you might want to check this one out, even if you're not interested in retail packages. So the IR control kit is interesting. I'm going to open up and show you what's inside. It's a really basic kit, but includes a lot of pretty useful things. First up, we've got this remote control. This is the same IR remote control that we've been selling for a little while now, and it's basic on, off, channel up, down, mute, stuff like that. But, you know, just a nice handy little keychain remote. And we also include these two guys, which are infrared receivers. So what you can do is you can actually plug these into a breadboard, plug them into your Arduino, whatever, and you can point the remote at them, and you can receive commands. Now, the nice thing about these is they're the standard infrared receiver frequency that you see with TV remotes and things like that. So instead of using this remote, you can just use your standard TV remote, so you can use a TV remote to control your Arduino. In addition to that, we've got, the battery for the remote, some resistors for your breadboard, and then we also have these two LEDs, and these are actually infrared LEDs. So in addition to sending commands from a remote into these receivers, you can also use these LEDs to transmit commands into the receivers as well. So you could use this to have, let's say, two Arduinos talk to each other wirelessly using infrared commands. So it's a pretty interesting little kit, and there's a lot of things that can be done with it. And check out the quick start guide that we've written for it, which the link is right on the back of here, and the link is also on the product page. So check out the infrared control kit. So there you have it, another Friday new product post, complete with something that's going to zap me any second here. We've got solenoids, we had the Pesto, we've got our control kit, and we've got the Arduino micros. So we'll see you again next week with another Friday new product post. Whew.